watching Fox 4 News.
Student loan borrowers who have been hoping that they'd have some or all of their debt erased should now prepare to repay it in full. They haven't had to make a payment in 3 years. Hello, I'm Steve Eager. The Supreme Court struck down President Biden's plan to have taxpayers pay for $400 billion in student loan debt. According to the court's majority and some Democrats, the plan was an overreach of spending authority that belongs to Congress. The president this afternoon announced a different, more limited approach that would impact far fewer loan holders. We'll have more on that in a moment. First, here's Fox 4's Alex Boyer with a closer look at today's Supreme Court ruling.
The hopes of more than 40 million borrowers once eligible for up to $20,000 in federal student debt relief are now dead. In a 6-3 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Joe Biden's bid to forgive more than $400 billion in student loan debt.
My associate's was in substance abuse counseling.
Plano-based licensed chemical dependency counselor Lisa Sullivan is among the millions of Americans disappointed by the ruling. The forgiveness program would have canceled $10,000 in student loan debt for those making less than $125,000 or households with less than $250,000 in income.
I thought, wow, that's amazing, because that would pretty much wipe out my entire debt.
Can't say I was surprised. This Supreme Court has put a lot of importance on following the plain meaning of statutes that Congress enacts.
David Cole is a constitutional law attorney. In the majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts challenged the premise of the administration's plan, saying it created, quote, a novel and fundamentally different loan forgiveness program, end quote. The conservative majority on the high court claimed the administration overstepped by using the HEROES Act to forgive debt. That law, dating back to the 9/11 attacks, allows the Secretary of Education to make changes to loans during emergencies. The White House argued COVID-19 was one.
In this set of statutes, you just can't read it that way. Modify allows you to make certain technical adjustments to certain loans. It doesn't let you just go and forgive a whole bunch of balances of student loans. So you're just piling too much on this one word.
In a dissent, Justice Elena Kagan writing, quote, the Secretary did no more than use that lawfully delegated authority, end quote.
It's as if there had been no program. It's just sort of a dream. It was talked about. People signed up for it.
26 million people applied for the relief before the program was put on hold.
The field I went into is a lot of hard work with not fair pay.
Sullivan still owes about $11,000 for her associate's degree. She says the court's ruling means she'll have to put her plan to get a bachelor's degree on hold.
I'm saving money to try to do it. You know, I work an extra side job, and I kind of put that into savings.
Millions of borrowers haven't had to make student loan payments since 2020 because of a pause instituted during the pandemic. Those payments are set to resume in October. Alex Boyer, Fox 4 News.
Following the Supreme Court's ruling, President Biden said his administration will draft new plans to provide relief to borrowers with federal student loan debt.
First, I'm announcing today a new path consistent with today's ruling to provide student debt relief to as many borrowers as possible, as quickly as possible. We will ground this new approach in a different law than my original plan, the so-called Higher Education Act.
So the Higher Education Act was passed in 1965, and it gives the Secretary of Education power to lower or waive debt. The Department of Education will go through a slower process, which requires public hearings before any official movement is made on relief. In the meantime, the administration will cut monthly payments when they resume in September, and it will provide an on-ramp for borrowers to hold off on paying their loans for 12 months, though interest will be accruing during that time.
I am incredibly grateful for the court's decision.
We know that when one group's dignity and equality are threatened, the promise of our democracy is threatened.
Still ahead, details from another decision from the Supreme Court after justices side with a Christian web designer who didn't want to be forced to design web pages for same-sex couples. The Texas Supreme Court handed Governor Greg Abbott a victory in a long-running legal battle over mask mandates, county mask mandates. The court ruled the governor does have the authority to, during a disaster, like COVID, block local orders that defy his orders. Abbott issued an emergency order in 2021 banning mask mandates in Texas. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins, the mayor of San Antonio, and other local officials sued Abbott and set their own mask requirements. The case itself is now moot, of course, since the governor's order has expired, but it does reinforce who has authority in certain cases where there are conflicting rules between state and local government. Today is the first day this week we are not under any kind of heat warning or heat advisory. Thermometer on the screen says 96 degrees. Temperatures are slowly getting closer to back to normal for this time of year. Still a good day for kids to get in the spray ground at Clyde Warren Park. Chief Meteorologist Dan Henry. Dan.
Hey there, Steve. Yeah, only 98 today at DFW for a high temperature. We're down to 96 at this hour, 95 at Alliance Airport, presently 94 degrees at Love Field. Here's a look elsewhere. Temperatures in the 90s in just about every location. One spot has reached triple digits. 101 at Wichita Falls. We're at 99 at this hour at Bridgeport. Also 99 Hillsboro, and Greenville at this hour is 93 degrees. Heat index temperatures generally in that 100 to 105 range. We do have, along with the break from the triple digits heading into the weekend, small rain and thunderstorm chances. They'll be very small on Saturday, but perking up to about 20% Sunday, Monday into the 4th of July. We'll talk more in detail about those pop-up showers and thunderstorms when I run down your complete 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Okay, Dan, see you in a bit. Thanks. Even though our North Texas heat is easing a little bit, it's still intense in other parts of the state and the country. Webb County, which includes Laredo, reports 11 heat-related deaths over the past couple of weeks. The victims ranged in age from 60 to 80 years old. Fox's Brandy Campbell has more tonight from Laredo.
It's day 16 of the record-breaking heat wave across the South, and folks are ready for some relief. Real feel-like temperatures in some areas now hitting as high as 120 degrees. At least a dozen have died of heat-related causes so far, and it's even starting to cause major damage. 10 Houston area roads damaged by high heat in the past 2 weeks.
It's that constant exposure to heat. You have 100-degree plus temperatures with a heat index that rise above that, and then that constant just that baking.
Temperatures from Florida to California are expected to be 15 to 20 degrees above normal heading into the weekend, creating a dangerous situation as residents head outside for the 4th of July holiday. Health officials are urging people to limit their time outdoors and keep cool in whatever way they can.
It's too hot to be outside as it is right now, and just walking around, they're sweating nonstop. So if it wasn't for splash pads and stuff like that, we'd be inside all the time.
But there is some relief in sight. The system responsible for this heat wave is expected to begin moving east and gradually weaken throughout Saturday. Good news for folks here in the Lone Star State who have been told to conserve energy as demand surges. But most experts say the grid can handle the heat.
There have not been summer outages in Texas in over a generation at least. And that is because it's always been thought of as a summer peaking system.
About 62 million people in 18 states were under heat watches or advisories on Friday. I'm Brandy Campbell in Laredo, Texas, Fox 4 News.
New York Republican Congressman George Santos appeared in a federal courtroom for the first time since pleading not guilty to 13 felonies last month. Santos faces charges of wire fraud, money laundering, and theft of public funds. Shortly after his election last year, it was made public that he essentially lied about his entire background. But his indictment focused on alleged campaign fraud, lying on financial disclosures, and unemployment fraud. A trial date wasn't set during today's hearing. There will be another hearing in September.